So there we have it, conversion is all done. So that's our rising cold main that was originally going to the cold water storage tank. Put a lever valve there, so we've got a point of isolation up here. That's now linked into the cold down service to the pipe pretty much lined up there. So I just came straight off of there, connect that onto there. So that's our heating side all linked up. That's our cylinder return. So that's been capped there and heating return is all linked back in. Welcome to today's job. So it's me and Cara. We're going to be doing a system conversion today. So we've got an old Glowworm Flexicom system boiler coming out. So combi is going to go straight back in its place here. So hot and cold, obviously we can take the cold from the washing machine. Hot we're going to be taking from the kitchen sink straight into there. And then upstairs I'll show you, we're going to be converting the system. So luckily the heating side is already sealed, but the domestic water side is on gravity. So let's have a quick look. So this is the airing cupboard. That's all on gravity. But what I've found here today is the heating is actually on a manifold. So we've got 8mm coming off of there, and off of here down there somewhere it goes to another manifold, and there's more 8mm down there. So going to be coming off of the flow pipe, linking onto this 15mm here. So that will go onto the heating side, and obviously the hot water side, that's all going to get cap off the return on the hot water side as well. And then I'm going to jump up in the loft and then do all my linking out and convert the domestic side to pressurized as well. If it needs linking out upstairs, if not, we'll just cut it out, drain it out and leave it at that. So first things first, gonna mark up what's what, identify the pipe work, and then start draining down. Okay, let's have a look in the loft. So obviously we've only got the cold water storage tank. That's gonna be the feed to that. So let's turn that off first. Okay. And now it looks like we've got two services coming off of here, so we just need to see that side is going to be feeding the cylinder. This side got another copper pipe here, so I'll follow that down into there and cupboard and see what that's feeding. So if we need to, we can link out the cold mains from here to here. Yeah, so 22 there, just making sure it's not 3/4. And that I'm not sure if that's asbestos or not, so I'm not going to be disturbing that, if I'm being honest. That doesn't look like it, but I'm not sure. It looks like it's just plastic, but I'm not sure, so I'm not going to mess around with that too much. So we've got two outlets coming off here. I just want to see if there's any other outlets on the other side, which hopefully there shouldn't be. Let's have a little walk around. Nope. So we've got just the two outlets. One's going to be for the cylinder, so that will be made redundant, and then the other one I'm just going to pop down into here and cupboard and see what that's feeding, if it's still live. If not, this can all be cut out. But let's get the cylinder draining now that I've turned that off. Cylinders draining down. Luckily the drain off does work. Now if you haven't got one of these, I highly recommend you get them. Don't know exactly what it's called, but it's basically a double-ended ratchet with 4 different sizes, reversible. One side I use for pump valves, and the bigger side, it's handy for the drain off on there, and also you can use it on certain lock shields as well. But moving on from that, I've identified what the pipes are upstairs. So remember where I said I wasn't sure which one here was which. So that is that's this pipe here. So that's the cold feed to the cylinder. So that can all get cut out because cylinder's obviously going. This service pipe here is this 22mm pipe here. So that's going to be a down service for cold to probably the bathroom and other parts of the house. So I'm going to link that out, but I'll probably try and link it out in the back there. Now the actual cold mains coming up to there is what we've got here, a 15mm pipe there. So I just got to find, I'm presuming, where is that 15mm pipe coming from? I thought I had it sussed. Yeah, so that's our vent. There you go. That's going to be, if I pull that back, that should be 15mm pipe. Yep, there you go. So there's our cold feed up there. So that goes down the back there. Down the back there. So what I'll probably do is link that pipe there onto this pipe. So that will be our cold service. So I can link all that down here. So everything in the loft can then be cut out. Then all I've got to do is link everything up here. Found our heating flow, sorry, a primary flow that's going to go into the heating flow there. Then we've got our return manifold there. So you can see more 8mm pipes around there. So that's our heating return. That's going to be the heating return as well, coming into here, which is then going down into that 22mm. So that's going to be a primary return. So this cylinder return here, I'll probably take this gate valve off and just put a compression cap there. So that will be the cylinder return capped off, and then the heating side is all done. Link out that to there, rip all this out. This is our hot service from the cylinder, so that I'll try and cap it as low level as possible. So then that's basically the conversion done. Get this out, and then I can help Cara downstairs. This is another great tool for when you're doing rip outs. I didn't buy this, I actually won it in a competition, and normally I would have thought it's a bit of a gimmick, but since I've had it, especially in jobs like this where you've got loads of pipework to rip out, makes life a lot more easier. Now they've brought out a new version of this called the Inox or Inox. It says Inox down here. The blade is meant to be better and it cuts a lot faster, but for me, this does the job just as well. So cylinder is drained down. So I'm going to start cutting all this out. Cara's making some noise downstairs, which is fine. Cut this out, cut the vent out. Found out this is my cold down service, so I need to link that mains into there afterwards. But firstly, I just want to drain all this out. Heating side's being drained out as well. Then I can start undoing all the wiring, all the cylinder connections, get the cylinder out. Then I can focus on tidying this up inside here. In the meantime, Cara's not wasting any time. Got the boiler off already. We don't mess around. Boiler's off. Probably salvage the PCB off of that. Yeah, look, that was split as well. And the main heat exchanger was gone on this. So yeah, you're going to keep the board, yeah?
You want to take it?
I can hear you, or you can take it if you want. Yeah? Alright, cool. Always keep them as spares, man, because they're expensive. So yeah, looks like I'm keeping the board. He's going to crack on the boiler. I'm going to crack on ripping out that cylinder cupboard. Okay, cylinders all been disconnected, so the hot's been disconnected there. I've cut the vent off, cut that bit down there, so that's just going to get capped. That's the old hot supply to the rest of the property. Return's been disconnected. Flow I've taken out already. That was just in that tapping there. So that was our return going onto there. So I'm going to put a compression cap on there. This was our heating zone valve, so remove that, and then I'm going to sweat this elbow off, put a cap here, and then that, actually I might just keep this and link that straight onto there rather than having to cut a T into there. So yeah, I think I'll probably just take that olive off and then extend that straight to the primary flow. So that'll be that side converted. Cold water storage tank and cylinders drained out. Just put a couple of caps on there to stop any water coming out. Wiring's all been disconnected from there. Just got to disconnect it from the wiring center. Let's get the cylinder out now. Right, so in the loft, this has all been disconnected. So the cold mains to the tank has been disconnected, capped off the two feeds coming off it, because obviously there's still going to be a little bit of water left in there. All the feeds that were coming up to it have been gone. So that was the cold feed going to the cold water storage tank. That's been disconnected and cut. That was our vent pipe. That was our down service, which is I'm going to cut down there and then link it out down there. This one was our cold feed to the cylinder, so I'm going to cut that down there and pull that out. So upstairs, all this is done in the loft. Now I've just got to focus on getting stuff down in the cylinders out. So now that the cylinder's been taken out, I can see a little bit more clearer. So that's our 15mm cold main. So I'm going to leave these two monster rings here. I'm going to cut just above there, bring it over, put a lever valve, and then, or maybe put a lever valve there and then bring it over and then link it into here. So that's our cold service done. Connect that onto the primary flow, cap the hot down there, cap that return, and that's it. Conversion is done. So there we have it. Conversion is all done. So that's our rising cold main that was originally going to the cold water storage tank. Put a lever valve there, so we've got a point of isolation up here. That's now linked into the cold down service to the rest of the property. This was our primary flow, so that's coming up there where I was initially going to be looking to tee it into the, when I took off the zone valve, the pipe pretty much lined up there, so I just came straight off of there, connect that onto there. So that's our heating side all linked up, and that's our old hot down service, so that's been capped off because we don't want any water coming back out of there. That's our cylinder return, so that's been capped there, and heating return is all linked back in. So happy days. Now I can have a little clear up here, and then I'll head downstairs and I'll give Cara a hand with the boiler. Right, Cara's got the boiler on the wall, flue's done, just needs to be sealed on the inside, so he's going to do that in a bit. I'm starting with the pipe work. So on these boilers I always do the PRV first, because the way it goes in, if you do it last, you're going to have the hot in the way and the gas in the way. So I always get the PRV done. That's the old PRV, but it's going to be tricky to get over there where you got all the other pipes coming up. So I'm just going to punch a new hole, have the PRV going straight through. Once that's done, then start on the flow, gas, well, flow, hot, gas, cold, return. And the other pipes are all down here. So it looks like we've got a hot feed there on that washing machine valve. And then obviously we've got the cold down here as well. So it's not going to be too much of a problem. Condense is already an 1.25 inches as well. So that's good. So yeah, so just going to get this pilot hole done and we'll crack on. Okay, progress update. Boiler is nearly done. So we've got the flow, hot, gas and cold done. Water's back on now. So let's just turn that on from here. That's now going through the boiler. And let's turn on the hot now. That's a good sign. It means that that part's been linked out correctly. Is there any taps open upstairs? Carl is just going to check the upstairs taps so far. So this is a bit of a higgledy-piggledy down here, but we have to try and rejig a little bit to make it all look a little bit better here. But okay, cool. Part's coming out good. Just gone upstairs and turned on the ISO valve where I linked it out in the airing cupboard, so we've got cold everywhere as well. Oh, pressure is getting more. It's not bad. Cool, that's all working. Going to go around checking all the hot taps to make sure we've got water coming out all the taps, so we know that nothing's been missed out. And then we've got cracking with the return, do the condense, and then wiring and commission. So yeah, we're getting there, making good progress. All right, let's just go and check upstairs. Make sure we've got water coming out of the hot. That's this one here. Oh, yeah, definitely got water coming out of there. And let's check the bar. Sweet. All good. Water from all the taps. Everything's been linked out correctly. So that's a good sign. Now we've just got to finish off the heating side and then we can fill up and pressure test the whole system. Right, we're all piped up. Cara's got the hardest job now. Doing the condense. Tell us how you're going to run the condense, Cara. Going to do a bit of a mad thing, isn't it?
Mad on, bro. Still trying to think of how I'm going to do it.
I think, get this lully, stick one end on there. I think we just get away with putting the other end on there.
Just here?
Yeah, cut it down a bit. And then,
Bang it straight.
yeah, cut it down to there and that'll go straight on there. Other than that, it's all, the rest of it's all piped up. And in fact, I'm going to nip that up, make sure that's nipped up. While Cara's just sorting that out. let's open up the filter. Oh, that was tight the first time. Where's the key for it? Okay. Right, that's on, that's tight. Let's start filling up. Let's open up the ISOs underneath here. I hope that we don't have any leaks. It's looking okay so far. Right, we're just going to let that fill up and hopefully no leaks.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And then we can turn it on, get it purging and sort out the wiring in the meantime and then commission it. Right, all wired in. So luckily where we took the old programmer off, we were able to use the same backplate for the hive. So the hive's been wired into there, boiler's going straight into the spur. There's some cables going into there, and then I'm just running a bit of 2-core straight into the boiler. So this is the Conveyor premix. So this is the one with the touchscreen controls. So right now it's going for its air purge. So with these ones, you need to keep this ribbon cable connected. Now in the newer ones, they are going to send them out, or they're going to give the engineers a longer ribbon cable so you can have this case sort of on the side. But right now I've got hooked onto the side of the boiler case so I can do my commissioning and testing everything with it on, because as soon as you disconnect that ribbon cable, it will stop working. So that's something that we've discussed with them. They're going to be giving longer ribbon cables to the engineers, or they're going to be putting them in the box with the boilers. But yeah, so just got to do the commissioning now and then have a little tidy up, and we should be out of here in good time. Because it's a microbore system, we're not going to be power flushing it. Kara's going to add some chemical to the system, and then he's going to let it circulate, and then he's going to come back in and magnum cleanse on another day. So as long as everything's working, we've got hot water, we've got heating working today, we're done. Right, let's test the hive. Turn it up. Stick up to 25. Right, 25. Should get a click on there. We hope. There we go. It's clicked on, and we've got heating demand. So it's all been wired in. The ECAs, they've got to be wired in low voltage. So normally in the hives where you'd put a link between live and 1, which is a common, don't put that link in. You just take a 2-core cable from 1 and 3 in the back plate straight to the 2 thermostat terminals on there. So they're all volt free. So that's all working fine. We're just going to let the heating run, make sure all the radiators are getting hot, and then dose the system with some cleaner, let it run, and then Carl's going to come back and do a magnum cleanse another day. We'll get the commissioning done, and then yeah, we'll be out of here hopefully within a short space of time, I hope. Right, we're all done. Boiler's been commissioned, it's been tested, all the radiators are getting hot. I went around with the thermal imaging camera, but I'll put it away now so I can't be bothered to get it out again, so you're just going to have to take our word for it.
Yes.
Job done.
Peace. Peace.